Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much, and I follow the Prime Minister in the remarks she made about the importance of the work we all have to do in this Parliament, and I'll come back to that in a moment. But firstly, I want to congratulate the Honourable Member for Rushcliffe on becoming Father of the House. He seemed to me to be a very well-established MP when I entered the House 34 years ago. And I've never quite forgotten the image of the member for Rushcliffe in the tea room, wearing hush puppies, eating bacon sandwiches, drinking super-strength lager and carrying a cigar whilst taking a break from a debate on healthy living. And he's had a very long and distinguished career in this House, and punctuated this year by his speech in the Brexit debate, during which he lamented that his party opposite had become mildly anti-immigrant. How new a development that might be is open to debate, but I'm sorry to note that it's also, to put it generously, at best mildly anti-worker, anti-disabled people, anti-pensioner and anti-young person as well. I'm sorry to be so divisive here today. It's all right, it's all right. Mr. Speaker, it is customary on these occasions to congratulate the returning Prime Minister, and I absolutely do so. And I congratulate her on returning, and I'm sure she will agree with me that democracy is a wondrous thing and can throw up some very unexpected results. And I'm sure we all look forward to welcoming the Queen's speech just as soon as the coalition of chaos has been negotiated. And, Mr. Speaker, I just let the House know and the rest of the nation know that if that's not possible, the Labour Party stands ready to offer strong and stable leadership in the national interest. I want to warmly welcome, Mr. Speaker, all new members to this House. There is, as you have said and others have said, no greater honour than being elected here. And it is an amazing day when you first come and take your seat here. The honour of representing your constituents and taking decisions that will help people's lives. That's why we're elected here, to represent those that have put us here to try and make their lives better. And you quite rightly pointed out, as did the Prime Minister, we now have over 200 women MPs, more than ever before in the history of this Parliament, and I think that is an excellent thing, and I join the Prime Minister in congratulating my friend, the member for Camberwell and Peckham, and all that she's done to promote women in Parliament and women's careers in general. Mr. Speaker, this weekend marked the anniversary of the election of 4 black MPs to the House of Commons 30 years ago, the first black MPs for more than 60 years in the British Parliament. And in particular, I welcome my right honourable friends, the members for Hackney North and Stoke Newington, and for Leicester East. Those were 2 of the 4 who were elected in 1987, who are now members of the most diverse House of Commons ever. They paved the way, and I have to say, they've put up with an awful lot by being pioneers in taking their seats in 1987. It is vital for our democracy that all voices are heard and represented. Mr. Speaker, there can be no better speaker than you in the 30 years that I've been here, because you've always ensured that backbench voices are heard, and the way that you've presided over our chamber at all times, the good, the bad and the tragic and the difficult, particularly the way in which you presided over this chamber after the horrors of what happened on Westminster Bridge, when those horrors came almost to the door of Parliament. And whilst Parliament has obviously not been in session for the past few weeks, we also commemorate the awfulness of what happened in Manchester, as well as what happened on London Bridge. We have to stand together as communities, strong, united against those that would seek to divide and destroy the democracy that we have in our society. And I congratulate you on the way in which you've conducted yourself and the inclusive debates that you've made sure backbenchers are fully involved with over the years that you've been Speaker. We have 2 things in common, at least 2 things in common, Mr. Speaker. Firstly, which is very divisive, our love for Arsenal Football Club. I realise that would bring that sort of comment, but I can cope, it's all right. And secondly, we both came to this place having been local councillors, and I think serving communities on local authorities is very important, and I'm delighted at the number of former councillors or serving councillors who were elected to this House on Thursday night, because they also bring a very special expertise and knowledge to this House. We have to speak up for our constituents, and that is why we're here, and I know, Mr. Speaker, you will make sure those voices are heard. I want to thank you for your role as Speaker in facilitating exhibitions in this House. I took part in one on commemorating the end of the slave trade, and the many receptions you've held for charities in the Speaker's House, but also the way in which you've travelled around the country, reaching out and spreading the whole idea of democracy in schools and colleges, not necessarily famous, not necessarily well known, but you've reached out to people in a way that had never been done before, and I think we should all be very grateful to you for that. You're not going to be troubled by party politics anymore because you're in the chair, but it is in the great tradition of democracy, and you stand in that tradition of a Speaker standing up for democracy. In your House, there is a commemoration to Speaker Lenthal and many other speakers there. Your job and his job was to protect democracy and rise above party debate. I just hope now we can have that real debate in the future, whenever those benches opposite might be in a position to take part in those debates. Mr. Speaker, we look forward to this Parliament, however short it might be, that we can be the voice for change in our society, because more people, particularly young people, than ever before took part in this recent general election. They took part because they wanted to see things done differently in our society. They wanted our Parliament to represent them and deliver change for them. And I am looking forward to this Parliament, like no other Parliament ever before, to challenge and hopefully bring about that change. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.